Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Friday edition of Pinstripe Territory voicemails. Yankees open up a series with the Cardinals tonight. The Cardinals have had a disappointing season. By their standards, they are 67-67, so playing 500 ball. They're at risk of having a second consecutive under 500 season, which would drive their fan base crazy. They've got a fan base like us. They love their team. And look, the Yankees have got to do a better job of hitting with runners in scoring position. You cannot have a series like you had with the Nationals, where you go 1 for 28 with runners in scoring position. Sometimes you got to shorten up your swing. I know that home runs are sexy and home runs are fun and home runs are how everybody gets paid these days. But look, you can't rely on home runs to win your ball games. You've got to be able to get that traffic that Aaron Boone likes to talk about being on the bases in once in a while with a base hit. You know, I think about some of the bigger hits in Yankees history, and they're not home runs. Like Jorge Posada's double off of Pedro in the ALCS in 03. He got jammed, right? He was just trying to put the ball in play. You know, I think about Jose Vizcaíno in the 2000 World Series. There's so many big moments that are not home runs, but the home runs are what get the most attention. And so everybody gets into this home run mindset. But really, it's the ability to make contact, to move runners, and to bring those runners in once they get on base. The Yankees have so many base runners that just being able to hit a little bit better will improve their record, will allow them to score more. You cannot keep banging into double plays. And that brings me to my next topic, which is DJ LeMahieu. My goodness, the guy looks finished. He looks old. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, everybody ages, right? At the end of their careers, Jeter, A-Rod, a lot of these guys just looked old. Teixeira, looked old. LeMahieu's hitting that point now where the swing has slowed down. If you look at his metrics, the swing is just slow, the bat speed. And he's had so many foot issues that the power is gone. He's a nice guy. I get it. The team loves him. Fans love him. We love his contributions. He wanted a 4-year contract. This would have been year 4. It would have been nice and easy to let him go after the season or to DFA him now. But you've got 2 years and $30 million remaining to this guy. And that's a big, big problem if you're the Yankees. Can't just keep giving away, $30 million here, $40 million there for these dead contracts. That's on Brian Cashman. But as of right now, you have better options. You got Oswaldo Cabrera, who has been swinging the bat better. And he's got a B swing. He's not trying to hit a home run every time. You see him taking the ball the other way. And look, we go back to talking about hitting with runners in scoring position. The Yankees were counting on DJ being one of those guys who makes contact and brings in runners, but he's not doing it. And every time that he comes up with runners on base, it seems like he bangs into a double play. So it's getting more and more difficult to watch, and I think something needs to be done. And I think DJ needs to hit the bench, and I think we need to see more Cabrera. Maybe you DFA him and you call up Oswald Peraza. I don't know. But you can't keep running DJ out there. We are going to have the rosters expanding in just a couple of days. Sunday, the rosters go from 26 to 28. Now, Jason Dominguez is almost assuredly going to be the offensive addition. The Yankees are also going to add another pitcher. Who could it be? Would it be Ian Hamilton? Could they add Scott Efros, who's been throwing the ball a little bit better? We'll see. But having one extra arm in the bullpen over the final month of the season will take a little bit of pressure off of a pitching staff that's been very overworked. So I'm hoping that the Yankees can show up in this series and play complete baseball. Right? If they score all of their runs on home runs from Judge and Soto, yes, it will be exciting and the fans will love it. But that's not the way you're going to win in the playoffs. I want to see more guys contributing. I'm hoping that Austin Wells stays hot. He's been one of these guys that has hit better on the road than at Yankee Stadium. I want him to get hot at Yankee Stadium and drive the ball. And I want Cabrera in the lineup. I don't want to see DJ running out there. I'm anxious to see if when Dominguez gets called up, if they play him or if they keep running Alex Verdugo back out there. Now, Verdugo's had a very nice season defensively, but offensively, I think he's had more than enough time to get hot again. And, the switch of batting gloves seems to have maybe sparked his offense a little bit, but I still would have more confidence in a young, fresh Jason Dominguez than I would in Alex Verdugo going down the stretch. So, big series kicking off tonight. We have about 30 games left, maybe 29 games left. I'm not looking at the schedule right now, but Yanks got to do some work. They got to do some work. All right, let's get to your voicemails, and then I'll be back after the game with the postgame show.
I live in New York City. I cannot believe you had the balls to do it.
So, Oswaldo needs more playing time. He's batting over 240, more than DJ, and that's amazing. But the problem is, Boone keeps coming out cold. He cannot become hot if he's cold and playing one at-bat per game. Give him 2 or 3 at-bats per game. If you're winning by 5, let the man play. Thanks, Derek. Amazing show.
I've already covered this, but I agree with you 100% that Oswaldo needs more playing time. You go back to his last 50 games, he's hitting 250 with 4 home runs and 15 RBIs, 22 runs scored. And look, I know those numbers aren't amazing, but they're better than what DJ LeMahieu has done. Over DJ's last 50 games, he's hitting 211. These are not small sample sizes. That's a 39-point difference in average. DJ has 2 home runs, so half as many. Oswaldo is a better player. He's younger at this point. Well, I guess he's always going to be younger, but he's a better player at this point, and I think that Oswaldo should get the opportunities.
Derek, hi. This is Barbara in Florida. Has anyone else noticed that while Carlos Rodon came into the season looking in great shape, he now looks like he's about 20 pounds heavier around the middle? Just asking.
You're the first person that has called in and said that. I haven't heard that mentioned, but it's not surprising. I think with the amount of meatballs that he serves up, he's just decided to eat a few more of them. That's all it is. But yeah, he's definitely put on some weight. I agree with you.
Hey, Derek. Just stating the obvious, we're playing down to the competition, but it's been that way the whole year. I really think we kind of lack a clutch gene, so to speak. I don't see us coming from behind in many games, especially lately. Other thoughts, I still would like to see Wells and Cabrera get a shot at first base, even though Rizzo's going to get most of the reps. And hopefully the Martian gets a lot of reps in left field, and then I think things will get ironed out.
I'm very interested to see what Anthony Rizzo looks like when he comes back. Now, he's another guy who just looked old before he went down with that injury. We were clamoring for him to be released or DFA'd or benched or whatever. And, then he got hurt and everybody just kind of forgot how much he stunk. If he comes back and stinks again, it doesn't help anybody. So it's going to be imperative for the Yankees to get some production out of first base. And as far as not coming back and things like that, I think there's something to what you're saying. Early on in this season, we kept saying this team had some dog in them, right? Well, that dog has been missing in action over the last, couple of months. We haven't seen it.
Hey, Derek. I'm calling up about DJ LeMahieu. I know he's been getting a lot of criticism lately, and I think it's warranted. He's an old guy. He's getting paid $15 million a year, and I know Aaron Boone wants to put him in the lineup because of that. But at this point, that money is worth more as a roster spot. Right now, we're just going to have to eat that contract up, and he should be riding the bench at this point.
100%. It's like the Yankees, and especially Aaron Boone, are saying to us, don't believe your lying eyes. This guy can still really play. But, he's had over 200 plate appearances at this point. He should have gotten hot by now. But his hot streaks at this point in his career consist of, a couple of ground balls with eyes. He's not driving the ball. So something needs to be done. Like I said, over his last 50 games, hitting 211. Quick ad from our sponsor today, Factor, and then we've got a bunch more voicemails.
We're busy. You're busy. And figuring out food all the time is a hassle, especially when you're trying to eat right. Fuel up with Factor's no prep, no mess meals.
Meet your wellness goals thanks to the menu of chef-created meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor features fresh, never frozen meals, dietitian approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great-tasting meals.
Treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and salmon. With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore.
Head to factormeals.com/FAL50 and use code FAL50 to get 50% off your first box, plus 20% off your next month. That's code FAL50 at factormeals.com/FAL50 to get 50% off your first box, plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
What's up, Derek? It's Casey. Once again, we made the Nationals go busting loose to our incompetence. We could not stop a rookie who was just called up a couple days ago and made him look good in his first few days. And as usual to our losses, the double play monster gets us again. That series reminds me of the Rays series last month because of the many opportunities we were given by them and did not take those chances. The Yankees should immediately apologize to the fans for this major embarrassment and actually be honest to them instead of putting out the same stupid nonsense every single time like the fans aren't going to care.
Look, the Yankees are not going to apologize to their fans. If they get bounced from the playoffs, you might see a statement like, we expect better, our fans deserve better, we want to make the city of New York proud, and all this nonsense. But you're right. They've just got to play better, right? Just play better. Aaron Boone has got to get more out of this team. The hitting coach has got to get more out of this offense with runners in scoring position, but ultimately it falls on the players. They've got to do their jobs. I'm really looking forward to injecting some more youth into this team. I really think Dominguez is one of those guys who's not going to be home run or nothing. I've been watching him hit for a long time now, and he's a guy who uses the whole field. He hits line drives, line to line. If the Yankees have the balls, the cojones to play him, I think he will add a lot to this lineup. He's certainly going to hit better than 220 or whatever Verdugo's hitting at this point. So, no apologies are coming, but hopefully some reinforcements are coming.
Jay calling from Southern Indiana. Derek, I just wanted to talk about biggest worry with this team seems to be their ability to come back in games. It seems like if we get down by 2-3 runs in the first 3 innings, kind of like the game is over. I mean, I know we had the Boston game where there was a lot of back and forth, but it really feels like if we get down early, we don't really have much shot at coming back. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Is that a personnel thing? Is that a coaching thing to where we just don't seem to have the focus or the guts, per se, to come back and take a victory away from a team?
I don't think it's a guts thing. I think it's a hitting with runners in scoring position thing. The Yankees, a lot of times, as Aaron Boone will say, will have traffic all over the bases. They'll put a ton of guys on, they walk, they'll get 2-out hits, but they don't hit with runners on. So I think it's an approach. I think it's an organizational approach that they've had for years. We've been talking about the Yankees' inability to hit with runners in scoring position since like 2001, I feel like. It's been decades at this point where the same issues crop up year in and year out. And they have got to do a better job of just making contact and maybe switching to a line drive approach when you got guys on base instead of always trying to put the ball in the upper deck. That's what I see. I don't think there's anything to their guts. I think that you got a lot of guys on this team that want to win, right? I think you got some guys that have extreme talent. Volpe is extremely talented as a player, but his approach sometimes is awful. And then there's also just the management aspect. Aaron Boone refuses to put the best players on the field. Full stop. How do you expect to win when you've got better players on the bench? Sorry, I just dropped something. You've got to put the best lineup on the field going forward. The time for screwing around is over. We're in the final stretch of games. You got to get the best players together and get them used to playing. You've basically got a high school season length of games left before the playoffs start. Get everybody on the same page and find out who's going to be man enough to come up big in the postseason.
Hey, Derek, Jeffrey Cole. I'm watching the game, and it's the fourth inning, and I just saw DJ LeMahieu hit into another double play, another inning-ending double play. How can they continue to run this guy out there?
You can't. Full stop. It's got to change.
What's going on, Derek? Man, I just had to say, after a super disappointing series there in Washington, I just cannot, and it absolutely baffles me how they let this Chaparro kid go to the Nats when they currently have the worst first base issues probably in the league. DJ's completely awful. Ben Rice came up, he looked real good at the beginning, and then just now he's ice cold. And to not even give this kid Chaparro a look, who I believe last year had like 25 home runs in the minors for us, it seems to be just short of a war crime.
War crime, I don't know about that, but it's definitely malpractice to let this bat leave the organization. This guy is absolutely going to mash. You can bet on it. 100% correct. This guy has a great swing. Chaparro should be playing first base for the Yankees right now. Hell, they should have picked him up at the deadline. You know, he left as a minor league free agent. He went to, I believe it was Colorado, and now he's back with the Nationals. And would not shock me if he mashes with the Nationals for a while. All right, thanks for your calls, everybody. Quick NostraDerek prediction, and then I'll see you after the game. All right, this prediction did not work the other day, but we're going to run it back. Judge is getting number 52 tonight. I think he's going to find the short porch in right field. We got Erik pitching, right-handed pitcher. He's going to work him on the outside of the plate, and I think Judge is going deep. I'll see you after the game. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and give us a subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media. Join the community, have some fun. We're here after every game. This is Pinstripe Territory.